There are three skills that need to change. The first skill is you need to learn the tool. If you haven't used AI already, you are 2.5 years late. So what I urge you to do, every one of you, download one of the language models. They have different characters. I think Gemini is the most scientific of all of them, if you want to discuss science. I think ChatGPT is like the most fancy, and Claude is the most intelligent. Between those three, choose one. I'm having conversations with them every single minute of every single day. They are my sidekick. I call them, I built a tiny little hack to have them work together somehow. I call it Trixie. And Trixie answers everything from how do I understand a bit of string theory that I'm struggling with, all the way to my wife is upset, what do I do? And believe it or not, it's incredible. You can customize your AI so that it understands you and listens to you and so on. So skill number one, don't tell me I'm waiting for a course or someone to teach me. Any one of us, when we were given a smartphone, we just opened the phone and started playing. So please start to do that. Skill number two is quite an interesting one. There is a very big difference between December 2022, when you needed information, you Googled the information. And what did we do at Google? We sent you back 1.5 million websites and said, make up your mind. Read through and find out what the truth is. Interestingly, in the age of AI, they don't do that anymore. So you ask a question and the AI will give you a very accurate answer, as if it's the truth. And I can guarantee you it's not the truth. Or at least it's not your truth. It's not your truth, understand? AI is summing up and averaging all of the knowledge of humanity, at least that we fed to it, but with a very clear bias, sometimes to being very Californian, sometimes to being very scientific, and so on and so forth. So not only that is the case, but more interestingly, if you understand what we did with artificial intelligence in the last 16 years, the number one application of AI so far has been what? To manipulate humans. So you go on social media, and that machine knows even more than you, which video to show you next. It knows exactly that if it waited another couple of videos before it showed it to you, you'd get a bigger hit of dopamine, so you'd stay swiping. And so this is quite interesting. We've given the machines the code to manipulate us. And so I'll tell you openly, they don't mean that badly, but I'll tell you openly, if you have a specific viewpoint of the world, the machine will reinforce that viewpoint so strongly that you will think you are right. I've studied the geopolitics of the world very heavily in 2024. When I open my YouTube page today, AI completely aligns with my worldview of geopolitics. I have to actually ask YouTube to show me the opposition's view to be able to see the whole truth. So your number one skill is learn the tool. Number two skill is question everything. This is truly the age of illusions. Everything is fake. I'll give you a very interesting example. I'm writing a book called Alive, and Alive basically speaks about living in the age of AI. I'm writing it with an AI, me and Trixie together. So I went to Trixie and I said, how can humanity create something that can be so dangerous without protecting against the danger? And Trixie said, well, many reasons. Fear, for example. And I said, like what? She said, Oppenheimer created a nuclear bomb because he was afraid, even though the nuclear bomb was known to be going to kill millions of people. And I said, afraid of what? And she said, because the Nazis were developing another nuclear bomb and he wanted his country to beat it. So I said, is that true? Were they actually developing a nuclear bomb? And Trixie said, yes. And I said, can you please read history in English, German, Russian, and Japanese, then tell me if they were developing a nuclear bomb? And she said, oh, I'm so sorry, Mo, yes, they were not. They started before Oppenheimer, they stopped 1.5 years later. And when Oppenheimer was developing the nuclear bomb, there was actually no other nuclear bomb being developed across the world. Now that is questioning everything. Skill number three is human connection. So of everything that we're going to do as humans, the machines will master every single one of them better than us. The only one they won't is the hug I had with my uncle when I saw him, is the conversation and laugh I had with Khalid when I saw him, and so on. Human connection, believe it or not, with your team, with your staff, with your clients, is by far the most important skill you need in the future.